everyone. Welcome to the English Mind podcast.
Hello, friends. Nice to see you again.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the English Mind podcast. And I feel really happy today because we are sharing this moment together again. And I hope you are feeling calm, relaxed, and ready to listen.
Hello, everyone. This is John speaking. And I want to say that it really means a lot to us that you are here, listening to English and giving yourself time to learn slowly and naturally.
Yes, and before we talk about anything serious, I just want to say that you do not need to rush. You do not need to understand every word. And it is okay to just listen and feel comfortable.
That is very important because learning English should feel friendly, not stressful. And today, we want to make you feel like you are sitting with two friends.
Exactly. And John, before we talk about habits, I want to ask you a simple question. How is your day going so far?
My day is going well because I woke up early, I had a quiet morning, I drank my coffee slowly, and I did not feel rushed or stressed.
That sounds really nice. And I think many people listening now want mornings like that. Slow mornings where you can breathe and think.
Yes, and mornings like that often come from habits, from small things we do every day without thinking too much.
I really like that idea because habits are not big actions. They are small actions that slowly become part of our life.
And when we talk about habits in English, we can use very simple language because habits are part of our everyday life.
Yes. And today we want to show you that you can talk about habits using easy sentences, common words, and clear ideas.
You do not need advanced grammar, you just need to talk about what you do again and again.
That's right. And many people think they need big words to sound good in English, but simple English is strong English.
I completely agree because when people understand you, communication is successful and that is the goal.
Exactly. And now let's slowly move into our topic because today we are talking about habits, daily habits, good habits, bad habits, and how to talk about them in English.
And we will talk slowly, clearly, and with many examples so you can listen, repeat, and feel confident.
So, John, when you hear the word habit, what does it mean to you personally?
For me, a habit is something I do every day or very often, something that feels normal and natural to me.
That is a very good explanation, and I feel the same way because habits are things we do without asking ourselves every time.
Yes, like brushing your teeth, drinking water, or checking your phone in the morning.
Yes, especially checking the phone. I think many people listening are smiling now.
That is true, and it is okay because habits are not good or bad by default. They are just actions we repeat.
Yes, and we can decide if a habit helps us or not, and that is something we learn slowly.
Now, maybe we can start talking about daily habits because that is the easiest way to begin.
I agree. Daily habits are perfect for beginner English learners.
So let me ask you, Sarah, what do you usually do when you wake up in the morning?
When I wake up in the morning, I usually stay in bed for a short time. Then I get up slowly, open the window, and take a deep breath.
That sounds very peaceful, and you used very clear sentences to explain your habit.
Yes, and that is something everyone can do. Just talk about actions in order.
I usually wake up, turn off my alarm, stretch a little, and then go to the bathroom to brush my teeth.
And you can say, I usually brush my teeth first thing in the morning, which is a very natural sentence.
Yes, and after that, I make coffee because drinking coffee in the morning is a strong habit for me.
Everyone knows that about you, John.
Yes, and it is okay to laugh about habits because they are part of who we are.
Now, let me ask you another question. Do you always eat breakfast in the morning?
I usually eat breakfast, but sometimes I skip it when I feel busy or tired.
That is a very honest answer, and it is a perfect example of how to use the word sometimes.
Yes, and you can say, I sometimes skip breakfast, and that sentence is already very good English.
I usually eat breakfast at home, and I like to sit down, eat slowly, and enjoy the quiet time before my day starts.
That sounds like a very healthy and calm habit.
Yes, and calm habits help us feel better during the day.
Now, let's talk about work and study habits, because many people want to talk about this in English.
Yes, and it is very easy to do that with simple sentences.
For example, I can say, I usually start work at 8, I check my emails, and I take short breaks.
That is very clear, and it is easy to understand.
So, what about you, Sarah? Do you have any habits when you work?
Yes, when I work, I like to make a simple list of things I want to do, and I check them one by one.
That is a great habit. And you can say, I usually make a list before I start working.
Exactly, and speaking like this helps people understand your routine.
Now, maybe we can talk about habits in the evening, because evenings are also very important.
Yes, evenings show how we relax and take care of ourselves.
In the evening, I usually have dinner at home, then I relax, watch something light, or listen to music.
That sounds really nice, and many people can relate to that.
Sometimes I go for a short walk because it helps me clear my mind.
That is a very healthy habit, and you can say, I sometimes go for a walk in the evening.
Yes, and simple sentences like this are very useful.
For me, in the evening, I like to read, listen to calm music, and prepare for the next day.
That is a great way to end the day.
Yes, and habits at night can help us sleep better.
Now, let's talk about good habits and bad habits, but in a friendly and kind way.
Yes, because nobody is perfect, and everyone has habits they want to improve.
One bad habit I have is checking my phone too much before sleeping.
Yes, that is a common one.
I can say, I often check my phone before bed, even when I want to sleep.
That sentence is very natural, and it sounds honest.
A good habit I have is drinking water during the day.
Yes, and you can say, I try to drink enough water every day.
Exactly.
For me, one bad habit is going to bed too late sometimes.
You can say, I sometimes go to bed late, and that is very clear.
Yes, and one good habit I have is listening to English every day.
And that is the habit we want our listeners to build too.
Yes, even listening for a few minutes is enough.
Small habits are better than big plans that never happen.
That is a very important message.
I really like what you said about small habits, because many people think they need to change everything at once, but that can feel very heavy.
Yes, and when something feels heavy, people often stop, so small habits are easier to keep.
Exactly. And when we talk about habits in English, we can also talk about how we feel about them using very simple sentences.
For example, we can say, I like this habit, or I want to change this habit. And that is already very good communication.
Yes, and I want to ask you something personal now. Do you feel happy with your daily habits, or do you feel you want to change some of them?
That is a very good question. And honestly, I feel happy with some habits, but there are also habits I want to change. Slowly.
That is very honest, and I think many listeners feel the same way.
Yes. For example, I feel good about my habit of listening to English every day because it helps me feel confident.
And what habit do you want to change?
I want to change my habit of going to bed late because I feel tired the next day.
That makes a lot of sense. And you can say, I want to go to bed earlier, which is a very clear sentence.
Exactly.
And even simple wishes are easy to say in English.
I want to talk a little about how to ask other people about their habits because this is very useful for conversations.
Yes, asking questions helps you connect with people.
For example, you can ask, "What do you usually do in the morning?"
Or you can ask, do you exercise every day?
Yes, and these questions are simple, but they open the door to a real conversation.
John, let me practice with you. Do you watch TV every evening?
No, I do not watch TV every evening, but I sometimes watch TV when I feel tired.
That is a perfect answer because you used sometimes very naturally.
Thank you. And now I want to ask you, do you read before sleeping?
Yes, I usually read before sleeping because it helps me relax and sleep better.
That sounds like a very healthy habit.
Yes, and I think reading is a good habit for the mind.
I agree. And reading in English is also a good habit for learning.
Yes, even reading one page is good.
Now, let's talk a little about weekend habits, because weekends are different from weekdays.
Yes, weekends are more relaxed for many people.
On the weekend, I usually wake up later and take my time in the morning.
That sounds very nice. And you can say, I usually wake up later on the weekend.
Yes, and I also like to meet friends or spend time with family.
That is a beautiful habit because spending time with people you like is very important.
What about you? Do you have any weekend habits?
Yes, on the weekend, I like to clean my home, cook something nice, and prepare for the next week.
That sounds very organized.
Sometimes I feel organized, sometimes not.
And that is okay, because habits are not perfect.
Yes, they change with time, mood, and life.
I think it is important to say that habits can change, and it is normal.
Yes, you are not the same person every year, so your habits can change too.
Now, I want to talk about language habits, because this is very important for our listeners.
Yes, habits around language learning are very powerful.
For example, you can say, "I try to listen to English every day."
Or you can say, I usually practice English in the evening.
Yes, and even if you practice a little, it still counts.
That is very important to remember, especially for beginners.
Many people think they need to study for hours, but that is not true,
5 minutes every day is better than 1 hour once a week.
because daily habits help your brain remember.
Exactly. And listening to English while doing other things is also a good habit.
Yes, you can listen while cooking, walking, or resting.
That makes learning feel natural.
Now, let's talk about habits and feelings, because habits are often connected to how we feel.
Yes. For example, when I have good habits, I feel calm and confident.
And when habits are not good, we may feel stressed or tired.
That is very true. And talking about feelings in simple English is also possible.
You can say things like, "This habit makes me feel good," or "This habit makes me feel tired."
Yes, very simple and clear.
Sarah, do you feel that English is becoming a habit for you now?
Yes, I feel that English is part of my daily life now, and that makes learning easier.
That is wonderful, and I hope our listeners feel that too.
I also want to say that it is okay if English feels strange at first.
Yes, because every habit feels strange when it is new.
But with time, it becomes normal.
Exactly. And that is why we talk slowly and repeat ideas in this podcast.
Yes, repetition is a good habit too.
Now I want to talk about sleeping habits, because sleep is very important.
Yes, sleep affects everything.
I usually go to bed at the same time every night because it helps me sleep better.
That is a great habit, and you can say, I usually go to bed at the same time.
Yes, and I try not to use my phone too much before sleeping, but sometimes it is hard.
Yes, many people understand that.
For me, using the phone is a habit I am still working on.
And that is okay, because habits take time to change.
I think it is important to be patient with yourself.
Yes, patience is a very good habit.
Now let's slow down for a moment and let listeners think about their own habits.
Yes, maybe you can think about one good habit you have.
And one habit you want to change.
And remember, there is no pressure.
Small steps are enough.
Now, John, I want to ask you one more question. If you can choose one habit that helped you the most, what would it be?
I think the habit that helped me the most is listening to something calm every day, like music or podcasts, because it helps my mind relax.
That is a beautiful habit. And it shows that habits are not only about work or study.
Yes, habits are also about taking care of yourself.
That is a very important message.
I really like what you said about taking care of yourself, because many people think habits are only about work, but habits are also about feeling calm and happy.
Yes, and I think this is something very important to remember because when people feel good, it is easier to keep good habits.
Exactly. And when habits feel kind and gentle, they stay longer in our life.
I also believe that habits are connected to how we talk to ourselves, because when we use kind words, it becomes easier to change.
That is very true. And the same idea works for learning English, because when we speak kindly to ourselves, we feel more confident.
Confidence is a big part of learning, even more than perfect grammar.
Yes, and talking about habits is a great way to build confidence, because we talk about things we know well.
Our own life is the best topic for learning a language.
I completely agree. And that is why today's topic is so useful for daily conversations.
Now, I want to talk a little about how habits change with time, because this is something many people worry about.
Yes, some people think changing habits means failing, but that is not true.
Exactly. Habits change because life changes, and that is normal.
For example, when you start a new job, your daily habits can change a lot.
Or when you move to a new place, your routine becomes different.
And that does not mean you are doing something wrong.
It just means you are adapting.
I like that word, adapting, because it feels calm and positive.
Yes, and you can say in simple English, my habits are changing, and that is enough.
You do not need complex sentences to say meaningful things.
That is a very important lesson for English learners.
Now, I want to talk a little about habits and motivation, because sometimes motivation is low.
Yes, and that happens to everyone.
When motivation is low, habits help us continue.
Because habits do not ask how we feel, they just happen.
Exactly. And that is why building small habits is powerful.
Even on bad days, a small habit can keep going.
For example, listening to 5 minutes of English is still a good habit.
Yes, and if you miss one day, it is also okay.
That is very important to say, because many people feel bad when they miss one day.
Missing one day does not break a habit.
Giving up completely breaks a habit.
So be kind to yourself.
Always.
Now, Sarah, I want to ask you something honest.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you ever feel tired of your habits?
Yes, sometimes I do feel tired, especially when life feels busy.
And what do you do in those moments?
I try to slow down and I remind myself why I started, and I choose one small thing to continue.
That is a great approach. And you explained it in very clear English.
Yes, and I think clear English comes from clear thoughts.
That is very beautifully said.
Thank you.
Now, before we finish, I want to help listeners practice a little in their mind.
Yes, that is a great idea.
You can think and maybe say quietly, I usually wake up at,
Or I often.
or I sometimes.
Or even I want to change.
These simple sentence starts are very useful.
And you can use them every day.
Now, let's take a slow breath together.
Yes, just relax your shoulders and take a breath.
You are doing something good right now.
Learning English is already a good habit.
And listening to this podcast is part of that habit.
We are really happy to be part of your learning journey.
Yes, it means a lot to us.
Before we say goodbye, is there anything you want to say to our listeners, John?
Yes, I want to say that you are not late, you are not behind, and you are not bad at English. You are just learning.
That is a very kind message. And I want to add that learning happens step by step.
And habits are those steps.
Small, simple, daily steps.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
Yes, thank you for listening and for choosing to learn in a calm and friendly way.
If this conversation helped you or made you feel comfortable with English,
Please support the English Mind podcast.
you can like this video
Subscribe to the channel.
and share it with someone who wants to improve their English.
Your support helps us continue and create more warm and helpful conversations like this.
Take care of yourself
Keep practicing.
and make English a small, kind habit in your daily life.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.